to help prevent tooth decay and gum disease, stinky breath, and all that, I wanted to talk to you today. What can you do? So big thing that you can do is, one is the intrinsic effect of trying to slow down tooth decay is make sure you have a diet that's rich in fatty vitamins like A, D, and E, cod liver oil, skate oil. Those types of things are very, very helpful in preventing tooth decay. Well, what about gum disease? Gum disease is a disbalance or an imbalance that happens in our microflora. So the good bacteria get overtaken by the bad bacteria, and they begin to burrow their way into the gum tissue and cause inflammation, and the body overreacts to that and continues causing sort of a downward spiral. And it's hard to reverse, but not impossible. So some people think, well, it runs in my family, but I point out there's a lot of dentists out there that have parents that have lost their teeth from gum disease, and the dentist, if they applied their know-how, they have their teeth and are doing quite well. So there's a genetic factor, as my friend Daniel Trevor, author of The Unholy Trinity, likes to point out, that it's the genetics is the gun, and what you do is what pulls the trigger. So you might have a loaded gun, but you can prevent the trigger from being pulled by doing some of these things. So that's nutrition. How do you get the bacteria in good balance? Well, that's not very difficult either. You have to get rid of the bad bacteria. So you can use products like what we have at the Great Oral Health Company. This is our essential oil. So you can rub it on your teeth and gum, back of your tongue, brush it in, rub it in. You can do that several times a day. It kills the bad tooth decay causing microbes, and also it can cause and wipe out some of the harmful microbes that are associated with gum disease. Those people that have dental implants and appliances, it'll help freshen it up immensely. And this also, if you put it on the back of the tongue and clean thoroughly with that area, cleaning that area with a toothbrush as well, you'll have super fresh breath. So your loved ones will be happy, you'll be happy. Heck, it might even save some relationships out there. I don't know, but you'd be surprised at the depth of some relationships. You'd think, well, okay, that's just if someone has bad breath, obviously, but it can stop the attractiveness, it can stop the intimacy levels, all those things. So this product is very fast acting and works really, really good to help restore super fresh, kissable breath, but more importantly, gets the mouth more healthy by suppressing those microbes that are associated with gum disease and bad breath. The other thing that one can do is they can take, I'm showing you the children's probiotic here. This is for kids, but we also have an adult probiotic. This one will help to regulate and balance the microflora that's existing in your mouth. There's over 500 different species that we know of bacteria and microbes that live in our ear, nose, and throat. In this formula, I have 7 of the key ones that are associated with good health, healthy breath, a decrease in people that rarely get cavities or gum disease. Now, it doesn't mean if you take this, you'll never get cavities or gum disease. I wish this would be a pure miracle, but it can help to suppress those things that are out of balance in your mouth. So let's kill the bad ones and let's put in the good ones. Then what are we going to do for the teeth and gums this holiday season? Well, let's check out the Great Oral Health Advanced Pro Mineralizer Natural Toothpaste formulation. So I made this, patented it, has 21 ingredients, and all the ingredients are intended to create a certain specific action. The main ingredient, of course, is aloe vera, very soothing to the gums, and also the xylitol that's in there, and that's very fooling to the microbes that live there. So the harmful microbes that live within your mouth, they look at it as a sugar source, but they can't digest it. And so trying to digest it, it causes them to die. And that allows room for, ta-da, the good bacteria to come in. And that's the game of that whole system, the Great Oral Health System, which you can read about on our website, greatoralhealth.com. Also, This is full of an ingredient called hydroxyapatite, which essentially is tooth and bone mineral broken down into its constituent parts. It's been synthesized from essentially naturally derived elements, calcium and phosphorus, some other ingredients that hold and bind it together so that it actually can replicate and help the body and re-stimulate the body to remineralize the teeth. And so what we find happening in these types of hydroxyapatite formulations, if they're properly done, they'll help strengthen the enamel and also proof it up against future tooth decay. Again, your number one defense against tooth decay and gum disease is proper oral care and proper nutritional care. Nutritional care, as I mentioned earlier, with the A, D, E, fat-soluble vitamins, avocados, nuts, various other food sources that have the A, D, and E in them. You want to make sure you're supplementing with vitamin K2, and the different types of vitamin K. They help absorb the calcium better throughout our system so that we don't get a surplus of calcium within the body, in the blood vessels themselves. They go to work for us as Mother Nature intended. The teeth are always breaking down. So every time we eat something acidic or rough on the teeth, it basically causes the enamel to break down slightly. And then Mother Nature has, through our saliva, etc., a way to go in and remineralize, rebuffer, and then remineralize the surface of the enamel. So that's why it's important after you've eaten a meal, give yourself about 20 minutes before you brush your teeth, because the body is going through its remineralization process, and the very outer layer of the enamel essentially is a little bit softened. So you don't want to assist the erosion process of your teeth by overbrushing within that 20-minute window. Also, if you're going to brush, I highly recommend you use this toothpaste that I formulated, because it'll help remineralize your teeth, decrease sensitivity, and we discovered it gently whitens the teeth because it lays a thin layer of this hydroxyapatite, which the body then incorporates in rebuilding the enamel. We saw that on electron scanning studies that the outer layer forms in a white crystalline material, which is enamel. So it's forming in a white crystalline enamelized material, which is wonderful. So it brings back a gentle whitening of the teeth. It's not one that's going to strip the enamel away and cause whitening artificially by removing stains and enamel. You don't want to do that. The activated charcoal toothpaste, make sure that their abrasivity is okay, because if it's too high and too abrasive, yes, you might get a little whiter teeth short term, but then you can start eroding away the enamel. And to date, we don't know how to grow it in full amount. We can only coat it and remineralize the surface, which is what this one will do, or as studies have shown can do, based on independent studies and also on our clinical studies of this particular formulation. Now, so 95% of all bad breath comes from the back of the throat. This is really great news. If you suffer from bad breath, halitosis, other various names, stinky breath, whatever it is, if you use a drop of this on your finger or on your toothbrush, and you rub it around your teeth and gums, your cheek, your back of your tongue, and then you can also find our tongue cleaner, which I designed, which is gentle and it cleans the back of the tongue and it gets all that gunk off. Men get more gunk than the women do. I don't know why, but it is a prevalent situation. By cleaning that off, this will penetrate the microflora, wipe out the bad, and encourage the healthy to survive. Then you add more of this back to backload the good bacteria in there. And then, of course, you use this to help decrease sensitivity, gently whiten your teeth, and also to help to renamelize your teeth so that you get remineralization happening at the enamel level. And then what we found out is, of course, sure enough, it decreases sensitivity of the teeth. So if you have sensitive teeth along the gum, along the edges, it'll help with that. Okay, so this is our system, the Great Oral Health System. I highly recommend you check it out at greatoralhealth.com. And you'll find out too how you can have super fresh breath, how you can have strong enamel, strong gums, and you'll learn how to do brushing properly, how to floss properly. These are the tools that you have, because until we change all this processed and man-made food substances that we have, which quite frankly makes the civilizations be able to grow so nicely, they also play a detriment on our teeth, our gums, and our overall health. So the closer you can get back to nature, the better. Decrease the amount of carbohydrates that you have, decrease the amount of sugars that you're consuming. If you must have some sweets, do it around a dinner, and then swish your mouth out. You can floss right away, but just don't brush for 20 minutes. If you're going to have those snacky things throughout the day, keep in mind, all you're doing is you're feeding those bacteria that love them, and they're the ones that are commanding you. It's not really you. You've been, as Dr. Berg likes to say, I believe he said, you've been hijacked by your bacteria. And they are the ones commanding you. I need sweet, I need sugar, I need something, right? So you can resist that, get onto a higher fat, higher protein type diet. That will help you internally, and then use the great oral health products. Visit your dentist, get all this stuff cleaned up. If there's tooth decay, get it handled and addressed. Get it all cleaned up nicely so that you can save your teeth for a lifetime. And for the young people out there listening, you might think, oh, well, this is for old people. It's not. I mean, young people want to have fresh breath too. And why not put a drop of this on your teeth and gums, and it kills the harmful bacteria that are there, or the harmful microbes that are there. And why not drop one of these lozenges in at nighttime? You wake up with a fresh breath. You won't have the same morning breath you had the day before. This one takes a few weeks to really kick in. This one kicks in right away, so you're going to have kissably fresh breath immediately. Even for actors and actresses, you're on set and you have to do a kissing scene. My goodness, just put a little of this in. You're cleaning your own mouth and you're protecting your fellow actor or actress, and then you have kissably fresh breath, which is much easier. You don't have to act so hard. And then the toothpaste you use to keep everything super clean, it's meant to help remineralize. It's got so many ingredients to help you have a fighting chance to save your teeth for life. So for the young kids out there, I say, go for it. Have fresh breath. Wake up with fresh breath and have healthy teeth. Why not start now? Why wait until you get older when things are falling apart? It's much easier to prevent it right now.